So, listen up. No means no. Teach your kid that you meant it. Don't make me. Now, if you watered and fed a different kind of behavior, it's not too late to turn things around. And here with more is marriage and family therapist and mom, Leticia Murphy. Leticia, how you doing?
Good morning.
We were just joking during commercial break, the producer and I, because she spent some time in Kentucky. I said, you know, I had a Southern grandmother, and she wouldn't say get somewhere and sit down. She said, get somewhere and sit down. You know, and she meant it. Even grown-ups went and sat down when she said it.
And the great part is you understood exactly what she meant.
What she
and
meant.
You knew she was not playing. You knew she meant business.
Yeah, but you know, we got this new age kind of, I'm going to count, and I'm, you know, you're going to take, what do we do now? Give us the tips on what we need to do.
Well, the first thing is let's get rid of the counting, because really they should be obeying on the first time.
Yeah.
If you have to count to 10, there's a problem, and the problem is with the parent.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're saying no to your kid, you need to stand firm. Make sure that your no means no, your yes is yes. So what do? We're not going to negotiate. We're not going to beg. We're not going to be held hostage in case they have a meltdown. Tell them no and mean it. I always say, I look my kids dead in the eye and I say, no.
Yeah.
And they get it. They understand. They just kind of test us.
And if you don't waver, they know you mean business, right?
Absolutely.
Even in public, because that's where they test you, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, you said say no now and yes later. Their goals need to be met before rewarding. What do you mean by that?
So it depends. Some of our kids, based on their age, like in my family, my son, in order to get a cell phone, you had to be 8.
Okay.
In order to drive, you had to have at least A's and B's.
Okay.
What happens is sometimes we'll say, okay, these are the goals, and then we look at the report card and they're like, oh, I almost had an A. Well, almost doesn't work.
Okay.
So basically you have to say no. No, you're not getting your license. Let's see what happens next 6 months, and maybe we can say yes. We put it back onto the kid so that they have a goal and an incentive to do the work.
Okay, I want to back up a little bit because I know that this caught a lot of parents' attention. They couldn't get a cell phone until they were 8. We're living in different times now, right? Talk about the cell phone issue when it comes to kids and their freedom and how parents should react.
Well, one thing that when we're talking about cell phones, I'm talking about the access to the internet more than the 3 friends. Now, if we're talking a 5-year-old who's walking to school or even going to school, yeah, they need maybe the cell phone with the 3 numbers. Mom, dad, and grandma.
Right. And that's it.
And that's it. I'm talking, when we're talking cell phone, I'm not talking they should have all the apps and they should be on Facebook.
Right.
We may have to limit that.
Okay. All right. You say no one wants to hear no, but it trains kids for the real world. I totally agree, because I feel like this generation, and no offense to any parents out there, but it seems like they're entitled. They have this entitlement attitude.
Yes, they do. And I always tell my kids, I am training you for the real world. Because in the real world, I'm going to have no. I hear no all the time. And here's the thing. You can't have a bad face when somebody tells you no. You can't roll your eyes. You can't give them attitude. In the real world, you'll hear no, and you're going to have to go, okay, well, I respectfully don't agree. I'm not going to throw myself down on the ground and have a tantrum or talk back and be disrespectful. So train your kid for the real world, because nobody in the real world is going to put up with that.
Right. They don't care.
Exactly.
All right, Leticia, good advice. Thank you so much, parents. I hope that helps you out in the 2015 year. Jason, you know that no meant no when you were growing up, right?
Yeah, I was raised during